اللي وصلوا على المشفى تقريبا أكثر من 500 جثة. تم التعامل معهم من القسم المختص للطب الشرعي والمجتمع المحلي، واليوم تم في قسم كبير تم التعرف عليهم مبدئيا من قبل الأهل، بعدين نتيجة الظروف حتى الأهل ما عاد يقدروا يوصلوا ليتعرفوا على جثث أبنائهم، فظل في قسم اليوم بالتعاون مع الهلال الأحمر تم دفنهم بشكل مضبوط، وكل الجثث اللي كانوا بالمشفى بدون تمييز.
Smoke billowed over the embattled southern Syrian city of Sueda, following nearly a week of bloodshed that has killed more than 300 people. An Israeli official said agreed to allow limited access by Syrian forces into the Sueda area for the next 2 days. Reuters reporters saw a convoy of units from Syria's interior ministry stopped on a road in Daraa province, which lies directly east of Sueda. A security source told Reuters that forces were awaiting a final green light to enter the city. But thousands of Bedouin fighters were still streaming into Sueda, the Reuters reporters said, prompting fears among residents that violence would continue unabated. Clashes in Sueda broke out this week between Bedouin groups and members of the Druze minority. Syrian government forces moved in, possibly in an effort to quell the fighting, but were reportedly ambushed by Druze fighters. Israel has pledged to defend the Druze in Syria and launched airstrikes on government forces and the Syrian Defense Ministry in Damascus. Druze living in the Israel-occupied Golan Heights said they wanted more done to protect their community in Syria.
We feel very weak because we see our brothers, families, our homes, and people being killed there for no reason. Only because they are Druze, just because they want to preserve their dignity, honor, and land.
A Bedouin who fled Sueda told Reuters he'd seen Druze fighters attacking civilians. Reuters has been unable to verify reports of these atrocities, but the United Nations on Friday said it had credible reports of abuses in Sueda,
including summary executions and arbitrary killings, kidnappings, destruction of private property, and looting of homes in the southern city of Sueda.
As soon as the United States became involved in this conflict, we were able to de-escalate, deconflict. That seems to be continuing.
The U.S. intervened to help secure an earlier truce between government forces and Druze fighters.
Some clashes are continuing.
The UN said it had received reports of ongoing fighting.
ونحن نواجه هذا التحدي الجديد.
The bloodshed has posed a significant challenge to Syrian leader Ahmed al-Shara.
وكرامة شعبنا.
Shara, who has worked to establish warmer ties with the U.S., accused Israel of trying to fracture Syria and promised to protect its Druze minority.
Hundreds of Bedouin civilians evacuated Syria's predominantly Druze city of Sueda. The exodus is part of a US-backed truce meant to end fighting that has killed hundreds of people, state media and witnesses said. The ceasefire took hold on Sunday as Interior Ministry security forces deployed on Sueda's outskirts, allowing for the release of hostages and detainees held by the warring sides. A second large group of civilians will be evacuated if the situation remains calm, a Syrian security forces member said. The fighting began a week ago with clashes between Bedouin and Druze fighters. Damascus troops, sent to ease tensions, were drawn into the violence and accused of widespread violations against the Druze. With hundreds reported killed, it has posed a major test for interim president Ahmed al-Shara. The Druze are a small but influential minority in Syria, Israel and Lebanon. They follow a religion that is an offshoot of a branch of Islam. Some ultra-conservative Sunni Muslims deem their beliefs heretical. Citing the goal of protecting the Druze and keeping southern Syria demilitarized, Israel attacked government forces last week in the south and struck the defense ministry in Damascus. Washington, which has expressed support for Syria since Sharar met US President Donald Trump in May, said it did not approve of Israel's strikes. US envoy Tom Barrack said on Monday the Syrian government needed to be held accountable. According to the United Nations, at least 93,000 people have been uprooted by the fighting.
As Syrian forces took up position near Sueda, the government announced Bedouin fighters had withdrawn from the city. Local residents described a tense calm in the area after days of violent conflict left hundreds reported dead. It began with factional clashes between Bedouin and Druze fighters, before Damascus sent in government troops, which were then accused of attacking the Druze. This prompted Israel to launch airstrikes at the Syrian forces as it declared support for the community. A ceasefire was agreed on Saturday, but gunfire continues to ring out, prompting President Ahmed al-Sharaa to urge all parties to respect the truce. The government said that following deployment, clashes had been halted and Bedouin fighters cleared from the predominantly Druze region. This bloodshed underscores the challenge al-Sharaa faces as he tries to stitch back together a country of different sectarian and ethnic groups, which has seen 14 years of conflict. US envoy Tom Barrack said Syria is at a, quote, critical juncture where peace and dialogue must prevail.